In sports news, Nigeria has made history by winning the World Scrabble Championship in Perth, Australia. In the finals of the best-of-7 games decided earlier today, Nigeria's Wellington Jigere defeated England's Lewis Mackay 4-0 to emerge the new world champion. Team Nigeria had only 6 senior players at the championship after the youth team and officials were denied visas. The Nigerian Scrabble Federation believes this achievement in Perth will develop the board game in the country. Ayimba of Abad this evening won their 7th Nigeria League crown after they held Warri Wolves to a goalless draw in front of over 40,000 fans at the Ayimba International Stadium in Aba. Ayimba needed just a point in their final home game against closest rivals Wolves, and they did just enough to get the job done. The two-time African champions have 69 points from 37 league games, with just 1 game remaining, while Warri Wolves have 63 points from the same number of league matches. 19 wins in 37 league games handed the two-time African champions Ayimba the league title 5 years after their last conquest. Former Golden Eaglets coach Fani Amu wants the defending champions to take a positive approach to tonight's FIFA Under-17 World Cup final against Mali, and warns there should be no room for complacency. Mr. Amu, who led the national Under-17 team to World Cup victory in 1993, told Channel Television that the current squad have shown hunger to retain the trophy and can sum it up with a record 5th World Cup title in tonight's game. The game against Mali will be played at 11 p.m. Nigerian time.
It's an ambiguous solution. What I mean by that is that the way they handle all other games doesn't apply to this final at all, because the two teams know that this is their last game. They're not reserving anything for any other game. It's the last game, so they go out bust. But I always believe very strongly that Nigerians, for who they are, will always have a way out when there's no way. They know the implication. The president have called them and spoken to them, giving them words of advice and encouragement, making them to believe in themselves that the issue is now for the country.
World number 1 Novak Djokovic continues his brilliant form in the 2015 tennis season with another impressive win at the Paris Masters final. The world number 1 becomes the first man to win 6 Masters titles in a calendar year by dismissing Andy Murray 6-2, 6-4 in Paris. The Serbian won 3 of the 4 Grand Slam titles this year and has already made sure he will finish 2015 as number 1 in the ATP rankings. He heads into the World Tour finals in London, beaming with confidence, having won his last 22 matches. Williams has beaten Karolina Pliskova 7-5, 7-6 to win the WTA Elite Trophy in Zurich. The 35-year-old started fast, racing to a 41-4-1 lead before closing out the opening set, despite a fierce fight back from her opponent. Venus then showed character to recover from a 4-2 down in the second set, hitting back-to-back forehand winners to secure her 3rd WTA title of the year.
李能伟主任为大飞颁上，我们祝贺大飞。Congratulations to Venus and 有请李娜。好，我们再一次。
Russia has announced that it will be flying more tourists home today after 11,000 were airlifted home from Egypt in the past 24 hours. After initially dismissing suspicion that a bomb brought down a Russian plane in Sinai, the government said on Friday that it was suspending all flights to Egypt. Dozens of special flights were permitted for tourists wanting to go home. A remembrance service has been held in St. Petersburg for the 224 victims of the crash, most of them Russian. The UK has flown 3,500 travellers out of Sharm el-Sheikh, from where Metrojet Flight 9268 took off for St. Petersburg on the 31st of October. Elsewhere, Britain's Queen Elizabeth has led those paying tributes to the United Kingdom's war dead at the annual remembrance in central London. Thousands of people gathered at the Cenotaph Memorial in Whitehall for a 2-minute silence to honour those killed in World Wars I and II and later conflicts. The monarch, Prime Minister David Cameron and other main political party leaders laid wreaths. The Queen was joined by royals including the Duke of York, Prince William and Prince Harry at the laying ceremony. Events have also taken place around the UK, including in Edinburgh, where First Minister Nicola Sturgeon laid a wreath. This year's service at the Cenotaph was shorter than in previous years. And finally, the people of Myanmar have begun voting in their country's general elections, the first free polls in 25 years after decades of military rule. The ruling party, the Solidarity Development Party, USDP, backed by the military, is pitting against Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy, NLD. Although Ms. Suu Kyi is barred from running for the presidency, her party is expected to make large gains. Long queues formed at some polling booths across the country, with reports of people queuing from long before dawn. About 30 million people are eligible to vote in the elections in Myanmar, but clear results are not expected until tomorrow morning. More than 6,000 candidates from over 90 parties are vying to be elected to the 664-seat parliament in the first national election. And the main news again. The Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, has warned pro-Biafra protesters against disturbing public peace. The IGP issued the warning following recent rallies by the groups in Delta, Anambra and Enugu states. And no fewer than 8 people have been killed in Taraba State following the judgment by the State's Election Petition Tribunal, annulling the election of Governor Darius Ishaku. And Nigeria's Golden Eaglets will take on West African neighbours Mali in the FIFA Under-17 World Cup finals. And Russia has held a memorial service for victims of the Metrojet crash in Egypt. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for being a part of it. I'm Gimba Umar on behalf of everyone here. Have a splendid night rest. Good night.